me to reintroduce myself. They call me J-O-N to the easy E-N. Know that we undefeated, y'all are beneath them speeches trying to air a grievance. But his lines are overhead, better check the air for clearance. Call the tower, this is ours, clear the heat, the air apparent. Really I've never been better. Legacy, this is forever. All the more times I've been severed, I'm raising the bar, you can go ahead and measure. Think about time for a toast, time that we welcome to go.
What's going on, everyone? So I know it has been a very long time since I have made a full day of eating video, and I know I haven't been regular on YouTube with my content, but I just wanted to focus on my prep, wanted to focus on my clients, and just was busy with the move. I have a new place now, so just wasn't really my priority to make content for you guys. But now I got a new camera for you guys, and I have way more content coming into as I go closer to the show. I'm 2 weeks out today, and I'm actually traveling with my videographer to the shows that I'm going to be doing. Now, I'm doing more than one show, but that's going to be a secret, which show I'm doing. So today is a high carb day for me, so I thought I'll show you guys what I typically do on prep 2 weeks out for my high carb days. Right now, I have 2 high carb days a week, and sometimes it changes. Sometimes I'll do one high carb day, like super high carb day, like 1000 to 1200 grams of carbs, or I would do 2 high carb days and just split it in 2, so like 600 to 700. Today I'm supposed to be having about 700 grams of carbs and see how I look and respond, and if I need more, then the next high carb day I would go higher or lower depending on how my body looks. So anyways, first meal, super excited. I haven't had these many carbs in a while, super depleted today after 4 days of consecutive low carb days. So to start, I'm going to be having cream of rice as my first meal. And when it comes to cream of rice, I'm going to be having 100 grams of cream of rice, which is around 84 grams of carbs. And we're going to cook this in the microwave. There you go, that's 100 grams. Put some water in there. And put it in the microwave for about 3.5 minutes. While that is cooking, I'm going to be making my egg whites. So typically in my mornings, I would do either egg whites with some whole eggs, omega-3 whole eggs, or I would do chicken. This year actually I've been doing chicken for my first meal, and I've started to actually really enjoy it, because egg whites, one, if I'm in off season, it's just too much volume, and I don't really like to eat a lot, especially when the calories are higher. So I skipped eating egg whites altogether, and I was only eating whole eggs. But now, as my calories are super low on low carb days, egg whites actually feel really good. So I usually will add some spinach, some mushrooms, and egg whites and 2 whole eggs in the morning for that. But today is a high carb day, there's no fats in my diet, so I'm going to be doing just the egg whites and no vegetables. Egg whites. Also, while I'm preparing my meals, the one thing that I really like to focus on, that I really like to emphasize, and I've been taking for the last 4 years consistently, is a green supplement. This I will take after my cardio. So if I'm doing today I didn't do any fasted cardio because today is my high carb day, but typically I would do my cardio in the morning and then come back and then drink my greens while I'm cooking my food. So I would do 1 scoop of green soy by Jack Factory, and then I would add 1 tablespoon of apple cider vinegar. Now, apple cider vinegar, there's a lot of fat around it, that it helps with fat loss, it helps with this and that. I think for me, the only reason I drink it is because it helps with faster glucose metabolism. So it helps lower your fasted glucose, and which is a really good thing when you're trying to absorb carbohydrates, because that's what gets turned into glucose in your body. So there is no harm whether you are a believer or you're not a believer. I feel that there is no harm in drinking it for that reason. Now, there may be some other reasons that they try to sell it on. I don't really believe them. Some people do. Doesn't really matter. So it's up to you guys if you want to do that or not. Now for the greens, I drink them because no matter how much vegetables I'm eating, you just can't have enough micronutrients, and greens is it's a better form of multivitamin because they are still not as processed, so you'll be able to intake more micronutrients, has probiotics in this, so I don't need to have a separate probiotic supplement, which is really important for gut health, and just overall feels good. So I will take this all the way until peak week. Peak week I will cut these supplements out completely. So I'm going to be doing 400 grams of egg whites. So that is 280 grams. So I just need to open a new one and add 120 grams more. Now in India, for people who are watching from India, I know that a lot of people still like to use those eggs and then just separate the yolk, but I just feel it's such a waste of the yolk. Why do that? Because in India, I know there's a few companies now that are selling egg whites, so may as well, it's more convenient, it's pasteurized, and so may as well just use it this way instead of wasting those yolks completely. Right, so I added 140 grams, so 20 grams more, which is okay. Alright, so I have my cream of rice here. So, cream of rice basically is ground coarse rice. So instead of using regular basmati jasmine rice, you can just use parboiled rice and grind it in a blender and then cook it the same way. It's similar. I would say like it's 90% close to what this is. So you guys can do that for those who don't have access to cream of rice. Super cheap, super easy to eat, especially for those in off season. It's just so easy on the stomach because it's basically rice, but in a much easier way to eat. Like you're eating as a cereal instead of eating that dry rice. Nobody likes to eat dry rice. So I'm gonna add 100 grams of blueberries. Actually, this is my mixed berry blend. So it's blueberries, raspberries, and blackberries. I usually alternate between blueberries and raspberries just because it has very high antioxidants, very rich in micronutrients, and it is actually a high fiber fruit. So that's something that a lot of people don't know, that even if I'm eating fruit like only on my high carb days, 80 grams has 4 grams of fiber and 6 grams of sugar. So, and it's a low GI food. So if you guys don't have access to berries, I highly suggest eating fruits that are lower in GI and a little bit higher on the fiber content, instead of eating something like a mango, which is okay if you're in off season. It's not a huge deal, but when it comes to being on prep, when it comes to living this lifestyle 365 days a year, everything has to be 100%. I don't really eat for taste, I eat for function. And to that I'm going to add cinnamon. Cinnamon is dalchini, those who don't know, in India. And the only reason I add this, and you see a lot of bodybuilders add this, is for flavor. I don't want to eat plain cream of rice. So this gives a little bit of a flavor. It took me time to get used to it because हम लोग इंडिया से हैं, हमें used to है कि दालचीनी is used as a spice. हम just curries वगैरह में बनाते हैं. So when I first came here, I was like, why do you eat it in a dessert? Like people use this in dessert, in sweet stuff. I'm like, okay, we never use this. So it took me a very long time to get used to it, but now I love it because there's no other thing that I can use to put in some flavor. I can use some cocoa powder, but then cocoa powder has some calories, extra calories to it, which is not really a bad thing. But when you're low carbs, when you only have like, let's say 100 grams of carbs, those 2 to 4 5 grams of carbs matter. So why would I want to add extra carbs from cocoa powder when I can add something like this? So that's why I've stuck to cinnamon, and then I'm using this stevia liquid drops to sweeten it a little bit more. So stevia is like a natural sweetener, whereas Splenda, sugar-free are the sucralose ones, which are not really as natural. So it doesn't really matter, whatever you guys prefer. I'm gonna add a little bit of salt. So usually I measure my salt on my low carb days with this 1/4 teaspoon in every meal. That keeps it consistent, so I know exactly how my body's changing according to that. But on my high carb day, I do not measure my salt. I keep it lower, so I wouldn't add as much salt as I would do on a low carb day because I don't need that. But I would just use it as a gauge, like just rough estimate instead of like measuring every meal how much I'm adding for salt. Alright, so I have my cream of rice with the mixed berries and cinnamon. I have the egg whites with 2 tablespoons of sugar-free ketchup. Not the regular ketchup, but the sugar-free ketchup, which has only 1 gram of carbs per tablespoon. So this gives me about 8 to 10 calories extra that I'm supposed to have. And I usually cut this out around 10, maybe 9 days out. Today we are 12 days out. Monday, it's a Monday, so it's 12 days out today. So 2 more days of this, and then I'm cutting it out. So usually I will do my cardio, come back, cook my meal, sit here, and then watch something on the TV. Could be some motivational stuff, could be another bodybuilding video, or I could be watching like a TV show. These days I'm watching Suits on Netflix, a really interesting TV series. So I'll finish this meal, do my client check-ins on my phone while I'm eating, while I'm enjoying. That kind of is my downtime. I'll take a shower after. Today I don't need to because I didn't do a fasted cardio, so I'll do it later. But carry on with my clients, go onto the laptop, make new plans between meal 1 and 2 and between meal 2 and 3. Then I'll take a nap between meal 2 and 3 and go and work out. So I'm going to finish this meal and then show you guys what I eat for the second meal, and then third meal will be the pre-workout meal. So 3 times a week these days I'm rolling my teres minor. It's a small muscle right where your lats are, and it doesn't really affect my training. But I noticed when I was posing, it doesn't pop out as much on my left side. So I went on to go get checked by my chiropractor, and he told me that it's a little bit strained, so I need to clear it out. So rolling is the best way of clearing it out, because no matter how many treatments I get, it's never going to be as much as I can do it by myself by rolling it. So any of you guys who have injuries, or not even injuries, actually for preventative measures, you should always be rolling areas like your quads, your glutes, your lats, and even your lower back, like QL. Like I used to do that a lot when I had an injury with the ball. But for the bigger area like lats, legs, quads, glutes, all that, you can use a roller. So just like 2 minutes every time, but three times a day for just 2 minutes. And this will not only prevent injuries, it helps with myofascial release. Because of that, your muscles are nice and loose and primed to grow, and there's no stiffness or tightness which can eventually lead to injuries. Meal number 2, we have 360 grams of rice and 4 ounces of chicken breast. Actually 5 ounces of chicken breast. I measured it before cooking. So I measured 180 grams before cooking, which is about 150 grams after cooking. It doesn't matter whether you weigh it before or after. For me, because I cook all my meals fresh most times, if I'm cooking it fresh, I'll weigh it raw. If I'm meal prepping it, then I'll weigh it cooked. Usually chicken loses about 20 to 25% of the weight, so you got to take that into account when you're doing raw versus cooked nutrition and setting it into your macros. But super simple. I added about, I don't know, maybe like 2 tablespoons of hot sauce, which has a lot of sodium in it, has vinegar and aged cayenne pepper. So it's very simple, gives some flavor to it. No fancy spices, no oils, none of that. Just keep it super simple. And ton of rice, a little bit of mustard, add some flavor to it. Also very simple condiment. So meal 2. After this meal, I'm going to be taking a nap, get ready for workout. I'll show you guys my pre-workout meal. Alright guys, it's time for pre-workout meal. I just woke up from a nap. I actually went and got my second dose of COVID vaccine today as well. I need that to travel to US and to India later on. That I plan on coming to visit my family. So yeah, let's see if I get any sides or not. I didn't get anything after my first shot, nothing. So hopefully I don't feel anything. I'm only 12 days out. I don't want any side effects, but we shall see. So I'm gonna have 120 grams of cream of rice. That's about 100 grams of carbs. This meal, so this meal has been pretty constant all year. I've been using this for 2 years now. Pre-workout meal, same thing on a high carb days, like cream of rice, and it gets the job done. Keeps my stomach nice and light, even though I'm eating so many carbs. Like 100 grams of carbs pre-workout is no joke. So I'm happy that despite all of that, it does not make me feel bloated. It does not, it digests really fast. It does not stay in my stomach for too long, and just makes my workout go that much better. So today's back day. I'm actually filming this workout for you guys, which is going to be in a separate video, just because I don't want to make this video too long. I added some ice. I added 1.5 scoop of protein, whey protein, and 120 grams of cream of rice. Mixed everything together. The reason I added the ice is because that cream of rice is too hot. It's gonna make that texture of the protein like chalky, so I don't like that. So that's why I added the ice to cool it down a little bit while I'm mixing, because I don't want to wait. And this is my staple pre-workout meal, pretty much even in off season. Sometimes I'll add a tablespoon of honey or like half a banana in my off season, not during the prep, because during the prep I'll keep my food to berries, which is in the morning, and post workout that you guys will see. But that's about it. That too only on my high carb days. The reason I like to eat, this is the only time I'll take whey protein, so 1.5 scoops, that's it. The reason I like to take whey protein before the workout instead of post workout is because it digests fast. It keeps my stomach really nice, not bloated at all, and I know that within 1 hour I can be training, whether it's back or legs or anything big body part, and not feel anything in my stomach, which is very important for me, that I need to be feeling 100%. And this meal absorbs pretty fast, so it gives me the energy needed to push myself, especially on those low carb days. So that's why I like it. Post workout, I keep it chicken, and it doesn't really matter the whole myth behind, oh, you need to have whey protein right after the workout is just a myth. You can have it whenever you want, whatever the best time is. I like depend definitely more on real foods and not as much protein powders. But having said that, sometimes in off season, especially when you're eating so much food, I would probably double my intake of whey protein just to substitute one more meal. It's so hard to get regular food in. So it just depends on you guys. But if you're like a normal person, by normal I mean eating normal amounts of food that you can eat from diet, definitely whole foods are better. So I'm gonna finish this meal, watch like a workout video. So whatever body part I'm training, like today is going to be back and a little bit of chest. So I'm gonna watch like a back workout video just to keep myself in that zone, get in there. My workout is already planned. It's different. It's not gonna be something that I will watch on the video and I'll just do that workout. No, it's already there. I've been doing the same workout pretty much so that I can track my lifts. So as my food goes down, like I'm 2 weeks out, 12 days out, as my food gets down, I need to make sure that my main movements for each body part, my strength is the same on my working sets, which are the main sets. So if my strength decreases, that means somewhere my because my strength is decreasing, maybe my muscle mass is decreasing as well. Not every single time, but that's a clear indicator that if it happens pretty every week to week, that means I'm definitely losing muscles. In order to make sure that I'm retaining all that size that I've worked so hard for this past 8 months, that my strength stays the same, which it has. So that's a good sign. But now that we are like 12 days, not even 12, I'm actually 2.5 weeks out. I've been saying this all throughout my video. I'm 2 weeks out, 2 weeks out, 2 weeks out. I'm actually 2.5 weeks, almost 3 weeks out. It's not, it's 19 days out. It's Monday today. I keep forgetting because in my mind, I've told myself that I need to be completely ready before peak week. So in my mind, I'm doing that math of 12 days instead of like actual like 19 or 20 days that I have. So. Okay, so it's intra-workout shake time that I sip on during my workout and I finish it at least 20 minutes before my workout is done so that all the carbs are actually in me before my workout is done and already being utilized. So we're going to be doing 3 scoops of carb surge, which is a combination of P10 and highly branched cyclic dextrin. And if you guys don't know what that is, I highly suggest you guys Google it because it's the fastest absorbing carbohydrate that empties your stomach as soon as you ingest it. So as soon as it goes down, it's going to go into your blood and get absorbed without raising your insulin levels, because your body naturally produces insulin to digest and break down, not digest, actually break down the carbohydrates into glucose. So this wouldn't do that. So you can actually drink this during the workout without feeling that crash, which comes from, let's say, drinking Gatorade or glucose or sugar or anything like that. Because every time you eat sugar, you're gonna feel really good for a few minutes, maybe 20 minutes, 25 minutes, and then you're gonna feel a crash. This does not do that. So it does not increase the insulin levels, so it does not get stored as fat as long as you're utilizing the energy. So just 3 scoops, that's 68 grams of carbohydrates. During a workout, you have a really good pump, and just make sure that glycogen levels are super duper filled up when I'm working out on my high carb days. And in my off season, I do this every single day. So 3 scoops of that. I'm gonna add, actually, I'm gonna show you guys 1 scoop of the EAAs, which has 6.7 grams of amino 9 blend, which is essential amino acids. But I'm supposed to be having 10 grams of EAAs. That's the good dose. It's the actual recommended dose for the purposes that we want, which is to feed the muscles and make sure all of this is actually being utilized. So I'm gonna add a scoop of BCAAs, which is, how much is this? This is 6 grams of BCAAs and 6 grams of EAAs, 6.7. So that's 12.7 grams, which is perfect for me. And then I'm gonna add 1/4 teaspoon of salt. The reason I add salt is so if it's not a high carb day, I'm still having all of this. I'm having EAAs, I'm having the BCAAs, and I'm gonna be having the salt, but I won't have the carbs. So this is a daily workout thing year round, whether I'm prep, whether I'm not on prep, whether I'm peak week, does not matter. And so that's 1/8 teaspoon, and that's 1/8 teaspoon. That's 1/4 teaspoon of salt, which is about 600 milligrams of sodium. Just to make sure when I'm sweating so much, I'm losing all the electrolytes, especially sodium. So I want to make sure that I don't lose that pump, and this ensures that as I'm losing water and sodium while I'm sweating, it's getting replenished through drinking this. So this is my intra-workout cocktail. I'm very particular about my intra-workout nutrition. Okay, so it's time for post-workout meal. What I have here is a cereal called Rice Chex. So I like to have cereal in my off season. Obviously, if you guys have seen my videos, you will know. But the best part about this cereal is that per 1 cup, which is 28 grams, it has 24 grams of carbohydrates and 2 grams of sugar. Only 2 grams per serving. And for the ingredients, first 2 ingredients are whole grain rice and rice. So basically, instead of eating rice, I'm actually eating this and having a little bit of sugar for post-workout, which is okay, especially on a high carb day when I'm eating like 700 grams of carbs. So this is a trick to enjoy, like have a little bit of a treat, but at the same time still stick to your plan. If you guys don't have this, I would suggest cream of rice. I would eat cream of rice or some other cereal that is very low in sugar. I like to keep my cereal like at least less than 3 grams, 4 grams per serving. So I'm going to have 120 grams of this, which is 100 grams of carbohydrates. So 120 grams of cereal, 100 grams of carbohydrates. I'll mix that with some almond milk with like about 200 ml. So that's going to be 25 calories. It has 30 calories per 250 ml, 2.5 grams of fat. So I can keep this all the way until like I'm probably until my peak week. So that's what I'm going to be doing. So alright, so I have this chicken in the air fryer. I cooked it for 9 minutes at 360 degrees, and that is 170 grams of raw weight chicken, which is about 5 ounces, which is about 40 grams of protein. So I have the chicken and I have the cereal, and that's it. Things you can eat on prep, especially when your taste buds are so heightened, is barbecue chicken breast. It just tastes so good. And the way I like to marinate it is to just use lots of lemon juice, lots of lemon juice, paprika, garlic, and what else do I use? Cumin, so jeera powder, or I think a little bit of pepper and salt. And what else do I use? Onion powder. So I combine all these ingredients with lemon juice and then just marinate it. It just tastes so good. And so that's 5 ounces. Actually, it's 4.8, so I'm going to add more. That's 5 ounces of chicken, which is 40 grams of protein. So on my high carb days, I actually make my protein lower than my regular days. So I'm eating about 40 grams of protein every meal for 6 meals. So that's 240 grams of protein. So I'm weighing about 220 to 18 pounds right now. So usually I like to keep it around 1 pound, 1 times per pound my body weight. So that's 240, just approximately, because that's the weight I started at with my off season. But on my lower days, on my regular diet, I would keep my protein a lot higher. It could be anywhere from 300 to 350 grams, just to keep it higher for calories, because on my high carb days I'm already filling. My purpose isn't to eat more protein, its purpose is to fill up the glycogen, fill my muscles up. So that's why carbs high, protein get a little bit lower. So I'm gonna eat this, and my mom's calling me, so I'm gonna take this call because she's from India. You guys can see I actually talk to my parents a lot while I'm away, living so far away. So I'm gonna eat this meal. I'm gonna show you guys my last meal before the bed, and I'm gonna talk to my mom. Hello? Okay guys, so what I'm doing now, it's my bedtime meal. So because I didn't have fish for my meal number 5, I'm going to be having it now. So you can see that's a tilapia fillet. I have 2 of them here, so each one of them is 21 grams of protein. So I'm supposed to have 40 grams of protein, so that's like 42 grams of protein here. So that's tilapia fillet that I have. So in India, a lot of people use basa fish because it's cheap. And my problem with basa is that it has no nutrition. That's the worst fish you can eat, because it actually eats all the shit and poop in the in waters. So जो भी इंडिया में जो गंदे पॉन्ड्स होते हैं या गंदे ओशन होते हैं, उसके अंदर जो सारे बाकी फिशेस की जो poop होती है, shit, that's what it eats. That's its food. So why would you want to eat something like that, right? So that's why it's just disgusting fish. That's why it's cheap. So you shouldn't be eating that. Cod is a very good quality, but India mein, I would say sole. When I go to India, I eat a lot of sole. Sole is a very good fish. Surmai is good as well, but it has some mercury. So if you're eating once a day, then surmai is okay. It has some fats. I think 3.5, 4 grams of fats per 100 gram, which is not that bad, and it's mostly omega-3 fats. But for lean fish, white fish, one fish that is readily available in India is sole. I'm sure there are some other Indian local fishes as well, but so I have 210 grams of rice that I'm going to put in the microwave. And then what we're going to do is add 60 grams of oats, which is 40 grams of carbs. It's super late right now. It's actually 1:30 a.m. I'm supposed to have my meal at 1 a.m. but I got a little bit late. So finish this meal by like, I would say like 1:50. Go to the bed at 2 a.m. That's usually my bedtime, 2 a.m. I know I'm a very late sleeper, but it's been like this since I've been in university. I used to always work out at 11 p.m. after my classes. My lab used to run until 9 p.m. So I used to have classes during the day. Then I used to go to work. Then I used to have labs from 5 p.m. to 8 p.m. Sometimes from 6 p.m. to 9 p.m. like science labs for courses that I had. And then after that I would go work out around 10:30. I would be done with my work around 12, eat my last meal, and then go to bed around like 2. And it's just been like that all throughout, and I'm just kind of used to it now. Even when I was working, I would always go to bed late, even though I used to get up at like 5 a.m. because I had to do my cardio in the morning. I was always on prep. I was doing cardio in the morning, then go to work, come back from work around 6 p.m, take like a 90-minute nap, go to the gym around 7:30, 8 usually used to go to the gym around 8, come back from the gym around 10:30, eat my meal. By the time the pre-workout wears off, it used to be like 2 a.m. So sometimes I'll go to bed around like 12:30, 1 a.m, but never before 1 a.m. It's just never been like that. So I'm going to prepare all this, show you guys the final product. But yes, this is the bedtime meal. The high carb day has come to an end. So I hope that you guys enjoyed this video. Full day of eating after a very long time, but I hope you guys learned something from it. Make sure you guys comment, like this video as much as possible, and if you like my eating videos like this one, I'll make more. I'll make some recipe videos for you guys as well. I did make some recipe videos for Muslims friend channel, so you guys can check it out. But yes, stay tuned for more content coming. I'm gonna cook this oats. See you guys.